Hey guys, so it is question and answer time. Finally, it has been long awaited. I asked you guys earlier this week and I think last weekend to ask me anything you wanted on Insta stories. And I got tons of questions, guys. I have a clipboard of them. I'm such a nerd, but I had to print them out and write little notes so that I could answer all your questions to the best of my abilities. So yeah, let's jump into the questions. You guys asked some very good questions and some fun questions, some things about fashion and some things about like hair care routine or skincare routine. So I think today I'm going to answer more of the fashion kind of questions because that was the majority of the questions. So yeah. Okay, so let's start. Okay, the first question is, where are you from and when did you start your line? So I'm from India. I was born and brought up in Saudi and lived there for 15 years and then came to Doha. Yay! I came to Doha when I was 15 years old and I did my high school here, I did my university here, and then I started working here and I started my business here, and yeah, I'm now an official Dohite. And when did you start your line? I started my line in 2010. I was still in uni. I was in my third year of university. So someone else asks a question more detailed about that, so I will also answer more about how I started. But I started in 2010, 8 years ago. Oh my god, so crazy. Okay, the next collection. Clearly I've been doing this for too long. Is my hair messy? I always notice that in my vlogs every detail shows, so I need my hair to be very smooth and nice. Okay, anyway, moving on. Anyway, oh my god. Back to topic. And I don't like this angle. Hold on. Like, it's too much here. So. Ooh, and it's crooked. That's gonna annoy people. Better. Okay. So I answered the first question. Oh my god, it's been 5 minutes and I've only answered the first question. Okay. The next question is, huge fan. And they did like a heart emoji. How difficult was it to get started and to start believing in yourself? So when I started, I was quite young, obviously 8 years younger than what I am now. And I wasn't really thinking of it from a very serious or business point of view because that just wasn't my priority at the time. So the way I started was, it was the third year of university in VCU here. Oh god. What is happening? My god, my god, my god. Okay. My god. Send help. Oh. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so let's go down memory lane. I started my brand in the third year of my university here in VCU, and every year at VCU we used to have the annual fashion show where we show the work we've done all year. And it was that night at the fashion show and I had shown my junior collection, which was all inspired by India, and I'm sure I had gone to see my grandparents or someone in India that year and I bought tons of fabrics from there. It was like the first time I went fabric shopping and stuff like that, and I went crazy on all the brocades and like the silks and stuff like that. I will insert pictures if I can figure out how to do that on the editor of like that collection and things like that. But yeah, so I had gotten a bunch of fabrics from India and that's what I used to make my collection for the show. And there was a boutique owner there in the audience that day, and her boutique was in the Pearl. It's no longer there, unfortunately, but it was there, and she loved one of my jackets that I had done, and that jacket had this like dome shaped detailing like all around the edges. So the opening of the jacket was like these small domes all the way down. And it was of course made in that brocade fabric and stuff like that. So she loved it, and she came up to me in the reception after the show, and she was like, oh my gosh, can you make me a collection for my boutique? I love your work. And I was like, oh my god, someone likes my work? What? Because like obviously when you're a student, you're not really thinking of, you know, becoming like a brand. At least back then I wasn't, and like, you know, it just caught me off guard, but I was like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah. And so then from that point forward, I kind of had to like make a brand. So I designed a logo, and it was obviously based on that dome shape, which I know you guys can still see in my logo today. I haven't changed it much. It has gone through like its evolution as a logo as I grew up and as my tastes changed, but I will try to show you guys like here what it looked like. It has gone through changes, but it's basically the same thing till this day, and I think I will never change it now because I've had it for 8 years and it means something to me now. So yeah, so basically like on the spot I had to create a logo, and you know, without much thought really. I wasn't like looking into like brand strategy and like brand guidelines and everything. I was just like doing it as I go, and whatever I like on the computer, print it out, make it. I took a trip to India, I bought more fabrics, and then I like went to my local tailors here in Garafa, and I was like, make these jackets for me, and they're for sale, you have to make them really well and stuff like that. And so that kind of kick-started it, and then I showed my collection in her boutique a couple of times, and then things just kind of took off from there. But yeah, so that's how I started. And how did I start to believe in myself? I feel like believing in yourself, I did that from a very early stage. Like I kind of feel like that's how I had the confidence to just like go for it and say yes, and yes to her wanting my collection and making it, and I just like dove in. But I do feel like believing in yourself and your self-confidence, being a designer and putting the thing that you personally like and you made and you chose to like put together, and like putting your creativity out there for other people to like or dislike, you always go through ups and downs in terms of confidence and believing in yourself. Like there are times where I'm like, oh my god, you know, like what if people don't like it, or I have doubts and I'm like, oh, what if I'm not as good as this designer or that designer, you know. That always happens, unfortunately. Like it's up and down, but I think it is part of the process of being a creative person and putting yourself out there in that way. But I am like intentionally now trying to believe in myself and just push myself and do what I like, and it's proving to be, you know, like it's proving to work, and yeah, I just want to continue that. So yeah, it's a process and a struggle, but yeah, it is. I am doing what I love, so I don't mind the ups and downs. Okay, the next question is, what inspires your collections? So, it's different every time. My brand is basically focused on Indian touches, like the hand embroidery, the fabrics, the colors are all inspired by like India and things that I experience when I go there. And then it's also inspired by the Middle Eastern side of my life, like living here and stuff like that. And the volumes, like the kaftans and the jalabiyas and the modest wear. So my inspirations are always a blend of both things, but I never really have that typical thing of when you think of this collection is inspired by a specific time period or a specific object or a specific piece of art or something. It's never like that for me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but my collections are kind of like inspired more organically. Like when I go to India to start the collections and I go to the fabric markets and things like that, and I touch things and I see new fabrics and stuff like that, that's what kind of inspires me. And seeing different colors and stuff like that. I come up with combinations, and I feel like that's my inspiration. It's more sensory than like being inspired by a specific object or a specific era in fashion or something like that. So yeah, that's what usually inspires my collections. Okay, oh, where do you produce your collections, and do you have a store? Right now, of course, I do not have a store. I don't think it's the time for me to do something like that. Having a store comes with so many like obligations. You have to pay rent and you have to have staff, and I don't think I'm at that level where I could sustain that. Right now I work a full-time job in order for me to be able to do my business on the side, and I actually prefer, you know, putting my things online and having an online store as opposed to a physical store, because online anyone can access it from, you know, anywhere in the world, and it's convenient and you get it home delivered and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I'm probably not really gonna have a store of my own anytime soon. And where do you produce your collections? I produce them in India, and I have been producing them there since 2014. I used to make my collections here, but I found it hard to like experiment into like new things. So that's why I love producing in India, and I will continue to do so. Although it does come with its set of challenges, like sometimes I wish I had a production here so that I could always, like every day, go and check on the collection. Like right now I have to wait weeks before I go check the collection, and I'm obviously every day on the phone. I'm receiving photos and updates and, you know, questions, problems, things like that. I'm dealing with all of that, but it's very much online and on the computer and through emails and stuff like that. So with fashion, it's hard because I want to be there so bad to like see the things and move a bead from here to there. But instead I have to like, you know, take their photo, draw an arrow, put a circle, and put that, you know. I'm dealing with it, and it is good, and I love it. I love producing my work there. But I do wish sometimes that I produced locally, but I don't think I will anytime soon. I like this. I've worked really hard to build this system that works for me, so I will continue to use that. Okay. Will you come up with a modest travel wear collection anytime soon? Yes, I promise. I know I like teased about this collection, a like basics travel wear collection from this summer, I think, like right after Ramadan I started talking about it. And the thing is that like collection planning happens so much in advance that by the time I thought of this basics collection to launch, I started experimenting with like a local tailor here and like making the outfits for myself, and everyone loved them. So I was like, oh my god, I have to do this for everyone to be able to buy and wear. So when I came up with the idea, my production schedule for the whole year was already set. So for example, so Ramadan was going on, and Ramadan production was still going on during Ramadan because people placed additional orders and there was a restock and stuff like that. And then after Ramadan, I right away had to busy the production with producing the collection again for Harvey Nichols in London, which I also want to talk to you guys about my experiences there. But that can be for another question and answer. So yeah, they got busy right away with that, and then right after Harvey Nichols, they started production on my fall collection, which just came out now, and it's kind of finished now. And then right at the end of the fall collection, they started the work for my collaboration collection, which is coming out in December with 2 influencers here in Doha. So cool. Oh my god, this collection, it is a cool one. It's a good one. It's well, I think I can tell you guys, but yeah, it's a collection of jackets, very, very limited edition jackets, and they are embroidered like from top to bottom, side, back, full sleeves. Like they are 360-degree embroidery all over. It is like my dream jackets. And yeah, like I'm getting messages from the factory that it's taking them like 250 to 300 hours for a jacket to embroider a jacket, because it's all done by hand. And you know me, I'm like very detail oriented into embroidery, so I want my embroidery to be perfect and complex and rich and lots of different beads and crystals and things like that. So currently, like, I could not possibly give them more work to do right now, so they're working on the jackets. And then also at the same time, we're also working on Ramadan for next year. So in that schedule, modest travel wear, I see it starting to happen in February, like once Ramadan collection is like eased into production and all the decisions have been made and it just needs to be produced. Then I could probably introduce the modest wear to start developing it and then launching it. I want to launch it right after Eid so that you guys have like new clothes to wear when you travel for your holidays or for the summer. So it is coming. That was a very long explanation as to why it's not coming now, but yeah, it is on its way and I can't wait. I'm like super excited about it actually, because I'm facing difficulties myself in finding comfortable clothes to travel in that's not just like a hoodie and pants or leggings or something like that. And yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to like wear this modest collection myself and things like that. So yeah. Okay, I need to stop saying so yeah. Moving right along. Whee! Okay, how did you learn everything about fashion? Well, oh, someone else asked me what's the inspiration behind your lovely designs. Thank you. But yeah, so I kind of explained that already, but I don't want to ignore your question. Okay, how did you learn everything about fashion? So, I learned the academic side of things, like things about design in general, color theory, how to sew, how to make patterns for clothing and stuff like that. I learned that, of course, at university, but the like nitty-gritty side of it, the real business side of things, I learned basically by doing it, like by going through these experiences myself. For example, like things that I've learned, oh my god. Basically every collection I learn like life-changing lessons about myself, about my process, about how to deal with problems. Yeah, basically everything I've learned is from a problem that I faced or an issue or something like that. For example, learning things about logistics and shipping things into Doha, I learned because once my collection got stopped by customs and I was like, oh my god, this is a disaster. So, you know, like this kind of stuff you learn by unfortunately going through really crappy times, where you think the world is over and that you're just khalas, like it's done for you, this is it. That's when you learn how to eventually overcome this, and then you're like, okay, never again do I do this, I have to do this. So that's where I kind of learned, you know, everything. I think all my business stuff is just from living through it. Even learning things about what kind of fabrics are best for the market here and things like that, that they're all learned from doing things that I think, okay, I could have improved on, and then the next collection I improve on those. And every collection I learn something new, and nothing is ever perfect, but I think I always surprise myself. I'm like, oh my god, I thought this one, you know, I was really gonna like implement all my like things that I learned, and then I'm like, oh god, there's like 500 other things I need to change next time. So that's just the process, and yeah, just learned it on the go. Okay. How long have you been working as a fashion designer? I love your work. Thank you. I have been, well, it's been 8 years, as you know, from 2010 till now. Yeah, I can't believe it's been that long. Usually they say like for a business to succeed fully it takes 10 years, but I do see myself needing a little bit more time than that to like fully develop into like my perfect vision of my brand. And to be honest, like not every year out of those 8 years was me like loving doing fashion and like being very confident. Like I did go through a time in the middle where I took a break and I was like, no, you know, this isn't for me. And like I felt like I wasn't good enough, or like I wasn't, you know, the normal things you feel like putting yourself out there. Like it got to me, and I said I was going to take a break. But shortly after, I'm pretty sure I went to India again, and I saw like I was just gonna try again. And the minute I step into like fabric shops or embroidery shops and bead shops, like I just get so excited and I feel so happy doing it. So I decided to start again, and yeah, just do what I love. It's what I love. So I feel like the last 8 years just flew by, and yeah, I think I will have many more years to come where I continue doing this. So okay, the next question I've answered. Okay, this is a good one. How can I kickstart my fashion designer career on a small scale here in Doha? Someone else also asked this question, so I want to answer both of you guys. Okay, another girl asked, I have started a new fashion line and I want tips to be successful in this field. So congratulations on if you have already started your own line, or if you're thinking about it. That's so exciting. My tips would be, let's see, I'm trying to think what I wish I would have done initially in the beginning to maybe have helped myself a little bit. I think if you're starting a new brand, it's so exciting because you can be whoever you want to be in the fashion industry. I would suggest that right off the bat, for your brand, you should have a very strong like vision and a point of view, at least. Like, who are you as a designer? Who is your customer? What kind of things do you like? Like, what is your aesthetic? Nail that down. And then in addition to that being very focused, I would recommend you also focus on a certain type of product right away. Like, for example, just a basic example, let's say that I'm starting a new brand and I want to focus on making linen kaftans, okay, like summer linen kaftans. So I feel like if you focus right away on one product, then your brand can then you as a new designer can also perfect that product and be the one designer that everyone goes to for that one item. And then of course, eventually a collection or two later, you can expand it, but that becomes what you're known for. And I think here, where you have so many fashion designers and things like that, like you can get lost within everyone else if you're doing everything. So, and also as a new designer, I know it's hard to manage doing everything and like making it all really good. Like, my advice, the reason why I'm saying to focus on something is so that you make it the best quality you can and you think about all the details. Like, the worst thing you can do is launch a collection just because you want to offer everything and you want to please everyone, but you rush through things or you don't think things through all the way. So yeah, I would recommend like focus your brand on one item so that even when people discover you for the first time, they know what you're about like right away, and they're like, oh, by the way, have you seen this brand for linen kaftans? They're so nice. If you ever need one, go to this person. You know, like, that's a really good way to stand out right away, whether you're a small designer or a big designer, to just focus on something and be the expert on it and be that one brand that people go to for that one specific item. I would recommend that's a good way to like kick it off and get known. And then of course you can expand your range. So I hope that helps you guys, and good luck on your new fashion careers, and keep me posted, please. If you have any other questions, you can answer. You can ask me below as well, and I can elaborate a little bit more. Okay, I think I will answer 2 or 3 more questions because I don't want to go too long. Basically from this point forward, all my vlogs will have a little bit of question and answer so that I can provide something valuable to you guys and help you guys out. So yeah, I'll answer 2 more questions because I think it's already been like 25, almost 30 minutes. So yeah, okay. It's very hard finding the right people to be part of your team. How do you do that? I am still struggling with that. At the moment, like, it's me and my production team in India. So in terms of all the things here, it's like I do it by myself. So in terms of like designing the packaging, designing the actual collection from start to finish, all the decisions, all the like little approvals, and you know, that the color choices, everything, that's on me. And then as well as the customer relations side of things, so updating the website, making the website, keeping track of stock, taking orders, talking to customers, helping customers, arranging the deliveries, packing the orders. I think I've said packing the orders like 500 times, because whenever I think of my process, like during collection time, like when it's launched, all my evenings are just packing orders, like folding boxes, putting paper, perfume, sticker. It is really fun. I do like it. I usually put a TV show on my iPad, and it's just kind of therapeutic, but it does take a lot of time. So I feel like I maybe need to think about at least having one more person on my team here who can help me with this kind of thing, so that I can focus more on what's next and like focus on the creative side of things. So yes, I agree. It's really hard finding someone, or like accepting the fact that maybe you need another team member, because your brand is like your baby, and I have worked on it for so long that it's hard for me to maybe trust someone else with it. But I think one step that I've taken to help myself like work with other people is to do that collaboration collection that I'm working on. So that was a way for me to take ideas and share them with someone from the outside, and also then get their ideas and their feedback and mix the visions together. And I feel like the girls I'm collaborating with have helped me like step a little bit outside of my comfort zone and like do something crazy, and like, you know, like take risks and stuff that maybe I wouldn't have if I was just doing another collection by myself. So that's like a good way to, I feel like that was a good way for me to start working with other people. And now I'm enjoying like having other ideas and, you know, someone to bounce ideas off of. So yeah, maybe start by like casually collaborating with someone, and then thinking about making that relationship more permanent and into like a team. So yeah, I hope that helps. And what are you thinking? Okay, so the last question I'll answer is, what are you thinking for your next collections? So it's gonna be the Modest Story collection next year. I want to focus on that a lot next year. And then for Ramadan, my gosh, this is one of the problems I'm facing with Ramadan. I feel like I have made so many collections this year. Like, this was one of probably the busiest years I've had. Like right from the beginning of the year till now, like I feel like even the production team has been back-to-back overlap scheduling, like very tight deadlines. And so now that I have to think about Ramadan next year, I feel a little bit like my brain is like empty. And I feel guilty about that all the time, because I feel like I should be working on this collection. Like I need to start. Ramadan is only like a few months away, and Ramadan collections always take time to make because they're the most elaborate collections. So I've already seen the shapes for Ramadan, like the samples. I just feel like I need to add some more pieces because it feels unbalanced right now. Like there's a lot of kaftans and then a lot of abayas, but there's nothing in between to tie them together. So I'm trying to round out the collection a bit as much as I can. And then also in terms of fabric and embroidery, I'm so blank right now. But I think that's because the collaboration collection is so intense, by the way. Like, it is very intense, so that my brain can't really focus on anything other than this collaboration collection. And also it's the first time I'm working with other people, so I have that extra pressure to like make it amazing for them, and you know, of course for me as well. So I can't focus on Ramadan right now, which I find so annoying. But I am like slowly starting to, you know, push through and really try to make some decisions on Ramadan. But yeah, so that's what's immediately next. After the collaboration collection will be the Ramadan collection and then the modest travel wear collection. So yeah. Well, I think that will be all for this vlog's question and answer session. I got tons of more questions, guys. I have questions on pricing and how I do my costing, which is very interesting. I would love to share that and probably help you guys if you're starting your own line and you're not sure how to do that. I will answer that next time. I have some hair care questions, which I'm very flattered about, thank you. And skincare questions, photo shoots, how do I manage my photo shoots, and how do I choose models, how do I deal with customers. Someone did ask about Harvey Nichols, so I do want to go into that because that was quite an experience. Do I design my own packaging? You know, there's like so many cool questions, and someone else is trying to start their own abaya business, so I want to help and I want to like answer these questions because I know back in the day in 2010, there weren't that many fashion designers in Doha, so it was kind of everyone on their own just figuring it out. So now at least we have the opportunity to help those who are up and coming now. So, and I feel like I have a lot of advice to give and things like that. So yeah, next time hopefully I will continue this question and answer. But for now it is Friday and I think I'm gonna end this vlog now. You guys, I have put in my whole weekly vlog before this, so you hopefully are watching the end of the vlog now, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.